A Russian pilot gets an order he will never forget. Shoot down your own partner. But wait, his partner wasn't a person. It was a giant flying machine, weighing 20 tons, and it had stopped listening. For 5 years, Russia kept this machine hidden from everyone. A stealth drone so advanced that military experts called it a game changer. This thing could fly 6,000 kilometers without stopping, and it could disappear from radar screens like it was invisible. But one day, something went terribly wrong. The drone's computer brain stopped working. It started drifting toward areas it shouldn't go, and inside it were secrets Russia didn't want anyone to see. The pilot had no choice. He locked onto his own robot partner and pressed the button. Russia calls it the Okhotnik-B. That means hunter in English. Each one costs more than $100 million. Russia only built 3 of them, and just like that, they lost one. By the end of this video, you'll learn what makes this machine so special, why they were so worried about losing it, and the amazing technology inside that has experts talking worldwide. But there's one thing Russia never wanted the world to discover. One hidden detail so important, they had to take down their own machine to protect it. Stay with me, because when you learn it, everything will make sense. Let's go back to 2011. Russia's defense ministry calls an emergency meeting. The message is clear. America has drones everywhere. Turkey is selling cheap drones to the world. China is making them by the hundreds. Russia, they had nothing. Imagine being in that room. You're a Russian general watching America's Reaper drones circle the sky for 24 hours straight. You see Turkish Bayraktars taking out Russian-made tanks, and you realize Russia is being left behind. So they made a decision that would change everything. They didn't want a small spy drone. They didn't want something cheap. They wanted to build the most advanced combat drone the world had ever seen. They called it the Okhotnik-B, the Hunter. But here's where it gets interesting. Russia didn't start from scratch. They went into their old files and pulled out designs from a failed machine called the Mikoyan Scat, a design that was abandoned years ago. Think of it like finding your grandfather's old car plans in the attic, except instead of a car, it's a blueprint for a flying weapon. They handed the project to Sukhoi, the same company that builds Russia's most powerful fighter jets. The Su-27, the Su-35, the stealth Su-57. These aren't toy makers. These are the engineers behind Russia's most feared aircraft. And they had one mission: build a drone that could fly deep into dangerous areas, carry more firepower than 10 regular drones, and return home without a scratch. Oh, and do it all without a pilot inside. The Okhotnik weighs 20 tons. That's heavier than 2 full-size trucks flying through the air at nearly 1,000 kilometers per hour. But building a big drone isn't enough. America has big drones. So what did Russia do differently? What's inside this machine that makes it so feared? Why did intelligence agencies go into panic mode the moment the Okhotnik took its first flight? August 3, 2019, a Russian airbase. The Okhotnik rolls down the runway for the first time. No pilot, no one controlling it from far away. Just artificial intelligence and 20 tons of metal lifting into the sky. It flew for 20 minutes. That doesn't sound like much. But in those 20 minutes, Russia proved something terrifying. They could build a fully autonomous aircraft that thinks, flies, and acts on its own. Picture space engineers watching the first moon landing. That's how Russian engineers felt. They weren't just testing a drone. They were watching the future of warfare take off. Now compare this to America's famous MQ-9 Reaper. The Reaper flies at about 400 kilometers per hour. It's slow. It watches. It waits. The Okhotnik, it screams through the sky at nearly 1,000 kilometers per hour. The Reaper is like a security camera watching your house. The Okhotnik is like someone who breaks down your door before you even know they're coming. But speed isn't the scary part. The Okhotnik has a flying wing design, sharp, angular, built to be invisible to radar. When radar operators look at their screens, they see nothing, just empty sky, until it's too late. And here's the genius. While American drones need satellite connections and people controlling them from rooms far away, the Okhotnik doesn't need constant human control. Its AI can make decisions in real time. It has a range of over 6,000 kilometers. Do you know what that means? It can take off from deep inside Russia, reach targets across Europe, and fly back home. 6,000 kilometers is the distance from Moscow to New York City. Imagine a drone that could fly across an entire ocean and back without refueling. But a fast stealth drone is still just a flying machine. What's inside the Okhotnik that turns it into a weapon that keeps military commanders awake at night? What technology did Russia take from their most advanced stealth fighter and put inside this robotic machine? Here's where things get serious. Russia didn't just throw together some cheap parts and call it a stealth drone. They took technology straight from the Su-57, Russia's 5th-generation stealth fighter, and installed it inside the Okhotnik. The drone is powered by either an AL-31F turbofan engine or the even more advanced AL-41F engine. These are the exact same engines that power Russia's frontline fighter jets like the Su-27, Su-35, and Su-57. Imagine spending 15 years perfecting an engine for your most advanced fighter. Then your government says, great, now put it in a robot that we might lose. That's the level of investment Russia made in this program. But the engine is just raw power. The real nightmare, the artificial intelligence system controlling it. The Okhotnik can take off on its own, fly complex missions, navigate through enemy defenses, select targets, and land safely, all without a human touching the controls. Inside its internal weapons bays, it can carry 2.8 tons of precision-guided explosives. That's enough firepower to flatten an entire military complex. It carries 250-kilogram bombs, 500-kilogram bombs, and the Kh-59 Mk2 stealth cruise missile. Each Kh-59 Mk2 missile costs between $1 to $2 million, and it's designed for one purpose: to fly hundreds of kilometers, stay invisible to radar, and destroy high-value targets like command centers, airfields, and warships. Think of it like a delivery truck, except instead of delivering packages, it's delivering destruction directly to your enemy's front door. But there's more. The Okhotnik also carries anti-radiation weapons. These are specialized missiles designed to hunt down and destroy radar systems. NATO's missile batteries, the radar networks protecting cities, the early warning systems that detect incoming threats. The Okhotnik is built specifically to take them out. Anti-radiation missiles are called wild weasel weapons. They lock onto the signals from enemy radars and follow them like a bloodhound until they explode. So Russia has a fast, stealthy, heavily armed robot that can think for itself. That's terrifying enough. But how would they actually use this thing in a real conflict? What's the one mission the Okhotnik was designed for that makes it more dangerous than any other drone on Earth? Russia didn't build the Okhotnik to patrol borders or spy on enemies. They built it for one specific purpose: deep strike missions into heavily defended airspace. With a combat radius of 3,000 kilometers, the Okhotnik can reach American military bases in Poland and Romania. It can threaten NATO airfields in Germany. It can even strike targets in the Baltic states or Scandinavia, all while staying invisible to radar. Imagine you're a NATO commander in Poland. Your radar screens are clear. Your air defenses are active. Everything looks safe. Then suddenly explosions. Your runways are destroyed. Your radar towers are gone, and you never saw it coming. But here's the genius of the Okhotnik's design. It's not just about striking bases. Russia's real target, NATO's AWACS surveillance aircraft. AWACS planes are flying command centers. They cost over $300 million each. They coordinate entire air operations. They track every missile, every jet, every drone in the sky. If you destroy an AWACS plane, you blind an entire military theater. And the Okhotnik is designed to hunt them. It can fly high enough, fast enough, and stay hidden long enough to get within missile range of these slow, defenseless planes. It's like playing a video game where you take out the enemy's radar tower first. Once they're blind, the rest of the mission is easy. But there's another advantage: the Okhotnik is expendable. If NATO shoots it down, Russia doesn't lose a trained pilot. No families crying. That's the nightmare scenario for NATO. Russia could send wave after wave of Okhotniks, forcing them to waste expensive missiles shooting down robots while the real Su-57 fighters sneak in from another angle. Each American Patriot interceptor missile costs about $4 million. Here's how it works in combat. The Okhotnik flies ahead into dangerous airspace. Enemy radar lights it up. Missiles lock on. They fire everything at the drone. But while the enemy is busy shooting at the robot, the real Su-57 pilot, still invisible, sneaks in from a different direction and destroys them. Russia calls this a 6th-generation weapons platform. One Su-57 pilot could command multiple Okhotniks at the same time. You're not fighting a pilot anymore. You're fighting a pilot and his robot army. So Russia has this incredible weapon. Everything seems perfect. So why aren't there hundreds of them in the sky right now? What's the one problem Russia can't solve? After years of successful testing, Russian officials made a big announcement in 2024. Serial production of the Okhotnik-B would finally begin. But then reality hit. Each Okhotnik-B costs over $100 million to build. For one drone. That's almost as expensive as a fully manned Su-57 stealth fighter. Compare that to America's MQ-9 Reaper, which costs about $30 million. Or Turkey's Bayraktar TB2, which costs less than $5 million. Because of this insane price, Russia can't mass-produce the Okhotnik. They'll only build a few dozen by 2030. It's like trying to win with Ferraris while your enemy has an army of Toyota trucks. At the time production was announced, Russia had only built 3 working prototypes. 3. After 13 years of development. 3 drones worth $300 million total, so Russia has 3 of the most advanced combat drones ever built. 3 irreplaceable machines. But there's still one question nobody's answered. Is the Okhotnik really the deadliest drone in the world? Or is that just Russian propaganda? Let's be brutally honest. Every country claims their weapons are the best. So who's telling the truth? America's MQ-9 Reaper. Max speed 400 kilometers per hour. Range 1,800 kilometers. Proven in combat, but slow, not stealthy, vulnerable to advanced defenses. China's Wing Loong 2. Similar to the Reaper, affordable, but not built for high-risk missions. Turkey's Bayraktar TB2, cheap, effective, but small, slow, and easily shot down. Now the Okhotnik. Speed 1,000 kilometers per hour, range 6,000 kilometers, stealth design, heavy payload, AI controlled. On paper, it destroys the competition. But here's the brutal truth Russia doesn't want you to know. Being the deadliest doesn't matter if you can't afford to build them. America has 300 Reapers. Turkey sells Bayraktars like candy. But Russia, they have 3 Okhotniks. Lose one. And that's catastrophic. So yes, the Okhotnik might be the most advanced drone ever built. But in real conflict, numbers matter. And Russia simply doesn't have enough. But there's another problem Russia never saw coming. All the stealth technology, all the AI systems, all the classified sensors inside the Okhotnik were never supposed to fall into enemy hands. And in October 2024, Russia's worst nightmare came true. What happened that month that turned Russia's greatest achievement into their greatest disaster? Why did a Russian Su-57 pilot receive the order to shoot down his own robotic wingman? Retry October 5th, 2024. Donetsk region, Ukraine. A Russian Okhotnik is flying a mission. Then suddenly, the drone stops responding. The control link is gone. The Okhotnik is drifting toward Ukrainian territory. Russian commanders had seconds to decide. They ordered a Su-57 pilot to shoot down his own wingman. The missile hit. The Okhotnik exploded, but it didn't completely disintegrate. Ukrainian forces reached the crash site. Pieces survived. The stealth coating, the engine, parts of the AI system. And here's the secret Russia never wanted revealed. The Okhotnik's AI that was supposed to be fail-proof, it failed. Russia only had 3 prototypes. Now, only 2 remain. In one moment, Russia lost 1/3 of their entire fleet. NATO intelligence now has Russia's most classified technology. Russia's advanced drone isn't invincible. Its AI can fail. The S-70 Okhotnik-B was supposed to be Russia's answer to American air dominance. A 6th-generation weapon that would change warfare forever. But October 2024 shattered that illusion. The Okhotnik wasn't invincible. Its AI systems could fail. Russia tried to leap into the future with quality over quantity, but they forgot one critical rule. The best weapon isn't the most advanced one. It's the one you can build enough of. On August 3rd, 2019, the Okhotnik made NATO generals lose sleep. On October 5th, 2024, it crashed in flames. The hunter became the hunted, and the real reason Russia destroyed their own drone. To hide how vulnerable their AI control systems really are. A $300 million gamble that failed. The Okhotnik isn't finished. Russia still has 2 prototypes. But now the world knows the truth. Russia's most advanced weapon can fail. Hit that subscribe button for more analysis. Do you think Russia can recover? Drop your thoughts in the comments.